Pluloom and Ben Mouche, welcome to Bramble On, the show which covers the most compelling plot points of any given episode of Love Among the Brambles. Today we come to you from our studio where the birds have ceased to sing and the breeze is no longer moving. We've been given a warning that there will be a mandatory compulsory drill several moments hence, in preparation as opposed to in reaction to a nefarious plot. There have been some threats as of late from the fandom. Let's get right to it, shall we? 15922, a slippery slope. Viola fears what she's done when she sees how powerful the Fawn Witch is, now that the witch is restored and no longer a fawn. Calli quits her job as an empath. After all the good she'd been doing, after finally finding her place in the world, she ups and quits. And as we recall from last week, it was over the concern she felt and betrayal she felt that she was expressing as related to Carter, Prince Raffia's cousin. Carter being the one from whom Calli collected the lock of hair that was used by Viola in the concoction that turned the Fawn Witch from a fawn into her usual witch self. And now we know that Carter, the cousin, as well as Raffia and everyone else in the family, is in danger insomuch as the witch has proclaimed her intentions to wipe out the entire line. Dahlia and Lena. Actually, it should be in the other order. Lena and Dahlia, insomuch as Lena rules the roost. As you know, they moved in with Slate, turning his bachelor flat into a cozy domicile for the little family. They insist that Slate get a job. They go so far as to circle items in the classifieds as suggestions for the sort of job they believe he should get. Citron, now becoming quite the mogul, getting a name for herself as an image consultant for Mayor Hollow, and word has apparently leaked out that Prince Raffia was courting her on a work level as well. In fact, one wonders if Citron let that information leak herself as a publicity scheme. Very, very shrewd, if so. Well, she says that she can pull some strings for Slate and get him an interview or interviews. Pearl Nanny Nettlebottom, as we recall last week, the human Dodd Hoskins, went to old Milliam's home, the home that had been destroyed by the explosion of Neverclear Starshine. He goes to the home that is undergoing repairs to prove to Milliam that the Fae do exist, Dodd having seen them at the party thrown in Dahlia's honor. Again, Dodd was able to see the Fae. The viewers who have been watching for centuries were not able to see it, as those scenes never materialized. We have had word since that they were not cut, they were never filmed, they were never written. Make of that what you will. When Dodd goes to the stream home, Milliam Stream, and his wife Nanny Nettlebottom, we find out that in evading Dodd, Nanny slips and falls and injures herself. Will dear Nanny Nettlebottom never be given a break? And I do not mean a break of her limbs. In her storyline, she's been through too much to have to suffer so much at her advanced stage in life. Magnolia approaches Mayor Hollow and offers to volunteer to work on preparations for the ball, claiming she has been wrongfully painted as a bad fae, and she would like to prove to all that she is good. I look forward to hearing what you have to say about that. Moving on to Brooke, as you recall, he was left homeless when Lena and Dahlia forced Slate to ask his longtime friend and roommate to move out. As we recall, Brooke went to Stock's domicile, asking for sanctuary. Katie Diddleleaf was not pleased. However, Stock did take Brooke in, and now the two are bonding. They go out to the lonely lake and they bond over their shared love, undying love for the Brambles. And they reminisce about some of the past episodes we've so loved, heartwarming vignettes about the Bramble family and what has ingratiated them to us all. Katie Diddley was not pleased when she saw these two bonding. We shall see what becomes of it. But for now, that was a lovely little sojourn down the memory path, looking back at some of the finer moments when the Brambles showed their hearts and their souls. And I believe that is it for this week. Oh, there's Raffia. He goes to the family archives and learns a dark secret. What might that secret be? Moving on to our sponsor this week. We are very pleased to announce we do have a sponsor, having gone through a dry spell occasioned by the clamor caused by the production of the episode, I believe it was 15920, Epiphany's Eve, in which the scenes of the party thrown for Dahlia never materialized. We again have a sponsor. And that sponsor is Bozo's Bail Bonds, surety bonding for criminals of all stripes. Just look for the bondsman with the red nose. There's one outside every courthouse. Stop clowning around and get the freedom you deserve with Bozo. There you have it. This episode received a 3 mushroom, 1 flower rating. That's better than we've been doing for a while. People's confidence is being restored in the show. And now we will listen to our callers. Please, callers, no more calls about the missed party scene. My producer and I, Molly, would like to get some sleep. We've been up constantly for pluloom now. And at some point, the furor needs to die down. If we get the scene, we get the scene. If we don't, we don't. Let us move on and bramble on. Now, what have you to say, callers? Any calls about the party scene will be deleted. Caller number 1.
Calli quit her empath job? This is the first thing she's done to move out of her sister's shadows, and she loves it. What's more, she's good at it. This really upsets me. She was finally coming into her own. I sure hope she changes her mind, and if she does, that the spa will take her back. Just thinking about this tenses me up so much, I need a massage.
I could not have said it better. Calli quitting her new job is sheer heartbreak. For so long she'd been so lost, and living in the shadow of her incredibly talented sister Viola and outrageously charismatic younger sister Citron. It looked like this job as an empath finally was helping Calli emerge as a fully fleshed out fae. One does hope she reconsiders. One does hope Ivy Glen will have her back. Let's move on to caller number 2.
I thought the whole sequence with Nanny trying to hide from that human, Dodd Hoskins' last pluloom, was hilarious. That is, until she went out the back and fell in that ravine. I fainted straight away when I heard she was knocked unconscious. Maybe it's the empath in me. Calli would understand. I was fine once my daughter waved some spirit of hartshorn under my nose. As for Nanny, I don't know how much more she can take. I don't know how much more I can take. Tell the writers, leave our Nanny alone. Bye-bye.
As I stated in my previous remarks, the sympathy I have for Nanny Nettlebottom after all she's gone through, there are no words. Can she hold on? Can the actress, can the theatricus who plays her endure more of this? It is too much, if you ask me, even for this show. It's just difficult to watch. She deserves some peace in her life after all she's been through. Let's move on to our final caller, number 3. And again, no comments about the party scene, if you please.
Magnolia volunteers to help prepared for the Grand Amaz Ball. What's she up to? I don't believe for a pixie second she's breaking good. I think she's trying to stir the pot and make sealy-unsealy relations even worse. I know Mayor Hollow is something of a toadstool, but he'll be an even bigger one if he thinks Magnolia is sincere. That fairy dust she's sprinkling is nothing more than fool's gold.
Magnolia, as always. It's Magnolia. What can one say? One never knows where Magnolia stands when it comes to morals. Is she in earnest about wishing to do good, wishing to improve not only her image but her character? Or is this part of a greater scheme of which we are not aware? And if we are not aware, why is that, writers? I'll say no more. Next pluloom, we have a very special Holyloom episode in honor of the Holyloom, the first tier. As you know, the first tier is when water was created. I will go into that more next pluloom during the episode. And then the following pluloom, we will move on to the final episodes in this current season 1769. Until then, friends, do try to enjoy yourselves. Do try to put the lack of the party scene behind you, or write some fan fiction. What would the party scene have looked like? We will do our best to produce and promote your fan fiction. Let's hear from you. What should the party scene have been? If we get enough input, we may do an extra show this season, compiling all of the different theories and suggestions that the writers would do well heeding. Wishing you all great peace and happiness. Until next pluloom. Chéristez-en.